Happy Friday, meteorologist Diane Phillips, making sure that you were able to enjoy some of the peaks of sun that we had today. You'll find yet a little bit of sun still coming and pouring into downtown Toledo. Not melting, though, the snow. You can still see kind of that white wintry scene as we look off towards the south. But yet it's still a little bit hazy as we do have some cloud cover because we're not done with winter weather. Even looking at our cloud tracker, you're going to see the sun doesn't last all that long into the afternoon because rolling in here fairly soon, you're going to find snow showers in the forecast. So we'll see that this mid-afternoon, and that'll last through dinner. And even behind it, those winter clouds will be here not only for tonight, but even a good chunk of the weekend as well. So this is the system that we're watching. It's towards our west, and here it is going all the way through Wisconsin, over Lake Michigan, and it will soon be moving on in close to the Toledo area. And that means that all of us are going to be running the chance for those snow showers. And yes, even some lighter accumulations with it. Timing it out with the hour-by-hour forecast, you'll see that the clouds will move in ahead of it. And then here we come with that blue on the map. So that'll be here for any of those dinner plans that you have. Maybe you're also going to go to some of those high school basketball games. You're just going to want to keep an eye to roadways. I anticipate many of them will just be wet, but we all know how slick the roads have been lately. So make sure you take it slow when that snow is coming down. It should look nice out there nonetheless, but still some lighter accumulations will be possible. Might even try to see a little bit of liquid trying to mix in with that. But for now, we're going to be then watching that system roll on out just before midnight. And then by tomorrow morning, we have cloudy conditions. Those are going to hold even into the afternoon. So if you're going to go sledding tomorrow, you are going to find that much of the day going to be good. That snow, however, it was wet and heavy. So it's going to be a little bit frozen, maybe not as fluffy or fun, but still going sledding is fun now that we finally have some snow. Now, as we look ahead late Saturday night, mainly after midnight and into Sunday morning, you're going to find another system bringing a lot of snow towards the Mitten State. But here at home, it looks like we're going to be on the warm side, the rain side of the system. And that, well, could hurt some of our snow that we have sitting since we're looking at the chance for some rain and snow into the area, but still mixing that rainfall in. Going to make it tough to keep that snow around all that long. So hopefully our snowmen will fare okay from this system. But even the snow that we have for your Friday night or from our mix from Saturday night into Sunday, it doesn't add up to all that much. Southeast Michigan has the best chance of picking up some accumulations, mainly looking at Hillsdale and Lenawee County, picking up about an inch, maybe a little bit stronger into Hillsdale County. But you'll see that the majority of us at best are going to pick up a dusting or even under an inch. So don't anticipate much as far as impacts from the snow that we're looking at for tonight. But you are going to find that, well, roadways will be wet. So like I said, just take it slow if you're headed out there. We have a little more of that active pattern in the snow showers for later on today. So of course, radar, you'll be able to zoom in and out and take a look if you have those Friday afternoon or evening plans. So make sure you're checking in on the WTOL 11 weather app. Also watching that hourly forecast as we get into this evening, or even your weekend plans using the app. One of the best tools, whether we're talking strong weather or if we're just talking some winter fun that we can have. That's what we have in the weekend forecast. Saturday, it is going to be cloudy and we'll be watching for that snow later in the day. But temperatures, they'll be hovering right around that freezing point. As we get into your Sunday, you'll find temperatures into the mid-30s. We'll have that chance for rain and snow in this system, but mainly going to be looking at a lot of that warmer air, kind of changing that frozen precipitation into liquid. So we'll be watching that Sunday forecast, but for now, it doesn't look like many impacts for your plans. Now, what's ahead for us? Well, we have a storm path that's changing, and that's going to allow us to unlock some cold air towards the north, some moisture from the south, and we meet right in the middle where we tend to see a little more as far as the snow and the cold. So because our storm path has changed from what we were experiencing earlier in January to what we have now that we're going into February, you're going to find a little more of an active pattern, and that's why. It's because our jet stream is shifting and we're noticing that that atmospheric pattern is just a little bit different. And you're going to notice that it's a little bit different as far as those temperatures, though they're not going to be straight across the board like the computer thinks. We think that there's going to be a little deviation here. So for the weekend, you're going to find those 30s, but then next week, there's some 20s that pop up in here. So like I said, there's not a lot of deviation as far as what this graphic is thinking, but the WTOL 11 weather team, we are thinking that we're going to have those temperatures into the 20s for next week. And maybe by next weekend, we'll get a little bit closer to, well, that freezing mark. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Now for your almanac, average temperatures to kind of set the stage, lows should be into the upper teens. We saw temperatures this morning getting close to the teens. Many of us held on to those 20s, but afternoon highs, you can see we're kind of hovering where we should be into those mid 30s. We've kind of bottomed out at our coldest point in the season, but as you just saw, we do have some cooler weather on the way. But even picking up the sun, while we have it, it does kind of help to boost our mood. You will find that our sunset is at 5:44 p.m. tonight, so gaining a lot of that sunlight, and even at sunrise. At sunrise this morning was at 7:52, so we're picking up that daylight on both ends. So that kind of makes us feel good, even if we have that snow on the ground. But I know not everybody is snow fans, so if you love the snow, great, I'm glad we have it. If you're not, maybe, well, you're looking forward to something else, well, you have to wait about 52 days for a different flavor as far as our forecast. You're going to find that spring, it's right around the corner, but yeah, we still have to wait just a little over 50 days before March 20th. Now, of course, if that isn't enough of winter weather for you, you're going to find more of it here. Like I said, it's going to be busy here watching those flurries and snow showers to get us through the weekend, and even early next week watching a little bit of a lingering snow activity to hold on. But then it gets a little bit cooler. Temperatures will be into the mid-20s. That's where we'll hold for much of next week while we don't have a lot of busy weather during that time. And then we have on Saturday and Sunday a system that we'll be watching to see how that will work with those weekend plans. So make sure you stay updated as we look into that busier long-term forecast. We'll have, of course, those updates on the WTOL 11 weather app.